So today is Wednesday, July 9th, and it feels like the NBA season just ended, but then we're looking ahead to the next season because today we officially learned every cover athlete for NBA 2K26. We got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I guess now really putting a bow on a masterpiece of a season. He covers the standard edition of the game, Angel Reese on the WNBA edition, Carmelo Anthony on the Superstar. Also, I forget what they called it, the special edition for the Legends. He's going to the Hall of Fame this year. Also, shout out to the city of Baltimore with Angel Reese and Carmelo on the cover of games. And also was looking, Shai is just the second international athlete on the standard cover of NBA 2K. Giannis is on 2K19. I had to double check and see if there's anybody else in there. I guess technically Kyrie as well. So 2.5. We'll call it 2.5. But more so than Shai being on the cover, people started laughing at the cover itself. I sent it to you immediately. Is Luke Cornett, double Al Horford, and Sam Hauser defending Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It's photoshopped. It's weird. So I guess, first of all, shout out to Shai for being on the cover. Shout out to Angel Reese and Melo. But it's just kind of funny how the conversation quickly went into, this is kind of funny. Like, why did y'all do this?
Well, I think, you know what, there's part of me that feels like they didn't plan on rolling out all the covers the way that they did. Like Shams had kind of got ahead of the news and broke it. So then they had to put something out, and maybe they had that cover ready to go. Maybe they didn't. But like you said, like, and if you haven't looked up the cover, go look it up right now. It is hilarious. Gil and I were cracking up, texting back and forth about it yesterday because it's Luke Cornett doing this like kind of like flexing, screaming pose from a game that was not against the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Against the Lakers.
Gil immediately tracked down the photo. And then as he's doing that, I'm like, wait a second, there's two Al Horfords on the cover of the game as well. There's one that's guarding him in the background and also one that's guarding him in the foreground. I'm going to have to go back and try and find Sam Hauser. I didn't see him on, at the first pass at it, but it's mind blowing to me because like you think about some of like the classic 2K covers and like, it's just simple. Like they're like LeBron with like the chalk toss, and like they had like, when KD and D Rose and PG were on the cover, and like, they don't typically overdo it. Like even like the Tatum one last year was like pretty simple. It was like a lot of just kind of like commotion and crowd going on around him. I don't know why they decided this year was the year to like, you let AI like kind of like make the rest of the cover instead of just like, they could have just like color blasted OKC, like, his royal blue and like thrown like the parade around him or whatever you want to do. He just won the championship. And instead they decided to go with two Al Horfords, a Sam Hauser, and a Luke Cornett, all from games that were not played against the Thunder. It makes absolutely no sense. Again, like you said, shout out to Shai for being on the cover, but like I have no idea what 2K's vision was for this one.
So that was the funny thing. It's like a fun thing I try to do every year, especially because like we like write stories on this. I was like, let me see if I can find the original image of that this came from. So I see Shai, he's driving, and he's got on the new shades. And I'm like, okay, this had to have happened later in the season, and I can't find it. I'm like, oh, well, it's against the Celtics. You can tell. It doesn't take long to recognize. I think I either said to you or one of my other Celtics friends, shout out to my guy, Pat, I recognize that ankle brace, sock, shoe combo immediately. That is Luke Cornett. Like, that's Luke Cornett. And then I was like, well, if that's Luke Cornett, then that's definitely Al Horford. And I was like, okay, let me find a picture of Luke Cornett and Al Horford together. And I was like, pretty quickly, this isn't happening. And also, you could attest, they didn't play on the court that much, that often, for them to be in that position guarding somebody like that. Second of all, the Celtics, the last time the Celtics wore white and the Thunder wore blue in the same game was like 2022 or 2021. I was like, well, they wouldn't have used a picture of Shai from 3 or 4 seasons ago. So what's going on here? And I was like, okay, maybe these all pictures from all different games. Well, the Shai game, actually, crazy enough, was in Toronto. So I found the original picture. That was a game at Scotiabank Arena. And then that, like you mentioned, the picture of Al Horford, he's guarding LeBron. At least the facing Al Horford is guarding LeBron. And then the other one is Luke Cornett just yelling. That's Lakers Saturday night primetime game after the Luka Doncic trade. And I think the Sam Hauser picture is also from the Celtics-Lakers game. So for whatever reason, they chose to do that. It's just kind of funny. Like, and I was able to find the original pictures. I didn't find the Sam Hauser picture. Somebody pointed that out on Twitter. And I did find the original Angel Reese picture. It's funny, too, because in the Shai picture, he wasn't wearing the Shai ones. They hadn't come out yet. And Angel Reese, obviously, her shoes hadn't come out yet because they were unveiled the same day that the cover was unveiled. But shout out to their graphic designs for that, at least, because they put the shoes on seamlessly in the models, like the way they photoshopped the shoes on there. And then like Shai, even it was random, like the picture I found, like they changed his face And then like he had like a weird like bicep tape on. They took it off of his arm. So all the things you find out when you find the original picture that they used. And shout out to, again, the graphic designers for at least doing that. But yeah, like you mentioned, I looked at years past, it's just like different graffiti or artwork in the background. But this year they decided to throw defenders back there. And also Melo 3 to the dome is perfect for the cover.
Well, I was going to say, I don't want to like completely like rash on 2K because the Melo cover is unbelievable. Like that one is awesome. Yeah. But like, did they just make that cover like assuming it was going to be a Celtics Thunder NBA Finals, like, and they made it far enough, long enough ago that like they didn't really, and then they decided not to change it? Like, are they really going to release a 2K cover with 2 Al Horfords on the cover? Like, I feel like they have to change that. Like you can't do that. You can't. People are like getting too good at deciphering what is real and what is AI, and obviously some things are easier to tell than others. But it took me as a Celtics fan to take one look at that cover and go, there's 2 Al Horfords on the cover here. What the hell is going on here? So I don't know, man. I mean, you would think that a company as big as 2K would have a graphic design department that would be able to manually build an awesome 2K cover. But, you know, I don't want to take away from Shay's spotlight. It's more so just funny that that's all the stuff that's going on in the background.
I got a question for you about the covers. Maybe controversial. Just curious. Carmelo's is the legend they chose this year. And I maybe need to look back again because there's the deluxe edition. It's got multiple pictures of everybody. And if I recall correctly, none of those pictures feature Carmelo Anthony in a Nuggets uniform. I feel like that's a little off. And honestly, I feel like kids these days be like, why is he wearing a Jokic jersey? Why is he wearing a 15 Nuggets jersey? But I feel like it's a little off. I think personally, like, you know, but I was there to see it. You were there to see the work too. Like,
yeah,
Nuggets Melo is going to just get forgotten.
I don't know. I guess I didn't really even think twice about it. I think part of it is because like the generation of kids that are still buying. I mean, you know, you and I still play 2K, but it's like the kids that are like faithfully buying it really only know Knicks Melo. I don't really know. I'm not sure. I didn't really put any thought in that, but that is a good point.
Yeah, just a thought. Yeah, I'm opening like the full thing. The full cover has got Angel Reese, Shea, and then 3 pictures of Knicks Melo at both eras uniforms, like the era that had the black trim and then the blue and orange that we mostly knew him for. So just a thought. I crossed my mind when I was like 3 to the dome. He only started doing that in New York, which makes it perfect. But I'm like, you know, it just kind of just that Melo, you know, he was a problem in Denver. Obviously made it to the conference finals and that was it. But still, like, that was the most successful season of his career, that 2009 season in Denver. Yeah. So just food for thought, but big shout out to him, Hall of Fame and 2K26. Thanks for checking out NBA Soundsystem Canada on YouTube. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe below and find us wherever you get your podcasts. And on Instagram, we have weekly episodes and bonus content throughout the week.